Hi friends, my name is Debbie Abel and today we're going to be painting this landscape. I found this one on Pinterest and I thought it was very interesting picture, a lot of texture, so I decided to give it a try. For this one, we're going to be using 100% cotton paper, and also I'm using my Paul Rubens palette set. You can use anything that you have at home. And just to remind you, I don't paint realistic. This is just an inspiration piece and I take it from there. I'm just showing you how I will paint it and then you can do your own twist on it, okay? So let's jump in and get started. We're gonna start off by putting our sky first. So I'm putting a lot of water on my paint. This is my light blue. I believe is cobalt blue. A lot of water, not too much pigment. I would say maybe 5% pigment, lots of water. And then I made a shadow. So for the shadow, I just mixed ultramarine blue and my brown, which is burnt sienna. Really light on the color, 50% and 50%. Lots of water. I want really light. Remember, watercolor, we always go from light to dark, not the other way around. And for the clouds, I'm using this gray color and I'm just using my quill brush and I'm going in circles. Just like the clouds, sometimes they look like they're kind of like in a circle motion. That's what I'm trying to get. And then I will be using a paper towel to pick up some of the paint and give some white spaces in between to represent some of the lighter clouds. And you don't have to use this quill brush, you use whatever brush you have at home. And this is wet on wet technique. So my paper is wet, I'm just adding some more pigment to it, some more color, and going around in circles. Go in those circles, moving that paint, and we're gonna put some on the other side. Clean your brush. You can also do some lifting with a clean brush. You don't have to use a paper towel, but I like to use paper towel. I feel that it gives more texture to my sky. And then for the grass, I'm using my sap green. I put water all over below the horizon line and I'm just putting my sap green. Just adding those colors to the paper, leaving some space for my road. And I'm just making the lines for the road. Remember, the widest part is gonna be near you. And the further it goes, the narrower it gets. That's the way the perspective works. You want to make sure the widest part is near you, the closest to you. As you can see in the reference photo, the widest part is the one we see first, and then it looks like the road is going all the way inside. So we're just adding this sap green in some areas, and then I added some of the dark green on the edges and some here in the middle where I see that line. And for the center of the road, I added my sap green also. For the tree, I use the sponge. And this is the easiest way to paint trees for me. That's how I approach this. Usually I paint with the sponge. It's easier than using your brush. And I'm using my sap green. Then I added a little bit of ultramarine blue to make a medium value. And then I'm going to be adding my Payne's gray to make it even darker for a darker value. And then for this little guy here, I'm just using my cadmium yellow. Same technique, just use your sponge. All those nice, spots that your sponge has is gonna bring beautiful texture to your paper. And that's why I like to use sponges. To me, it's easy, and I don't have to think too much about it by using a brush and, oh my God, this is gonna look the same. I have to make different sizes for different leaves. With the sponge, it's so easy. You just press on it and it just give you different textures. Make sure you move your sponge around. For the road, I'm using my yellow ochre, really light on the color, not too much pigment. And I'm just keeping that sap green in the center. We're gonna bring some texture to that one. So we're just gonna keep it nice and green. And then I'm using my medium green, sorry. I'm using my medium green to add the edge for the road. And then we're gonna put the mountains in the back. And for the mountains, it doesn't matter if your sky is still wet. It's gonna give you this blur effect, and it's okay because the mountains are far away. They're supposed to be on the blurry side. They're not supposed to be perfect cut, and that's what we want. We want some blending in there. Now I'm adding a little bit of my sap green. I don't want hard edges, and then I clean my brush with clean water, and I just bring this up, blend it. And remember, if you feel like you put too much paint, you can always do some lifting. So clean your brush, go back to it, and pick up some of that paint. I'm adding some more of the darker green on the edge. And for this side of the field, I'm just using dry brush technique. So I pick up my paint. I do not put any water on it, 0 water, and I'm just picking up whatever I have in my palette. That paint, I just transfer that to my paper, and my brush is completely, I would say, flat on my paper. So that's gonna give you this beautiful texture that you see. You can keep some white spaces, it's fine. That's what we want. We want the texture, and I'm doing the exact same thing on the other side of the field. I'm just using my brush. I don't add no water, just picking up the paint, and I'm doing the dry brush technique. So make sure your brush is completely flat to the paper so you get this beautiful, like a grass effect. Now I'm gonna put my trunks. For the trunks, remember the widest part is gonna be on the bottom. And when it goes up, it gets skinnier, skinnier, skinnier. So that's one of the tricks. Make sure they look skinny on top and thicker on the bottom. You don't want to the other way around because your tree is going to look weird. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. It happened to me before, so don't do it. Keep your trunks nice and wide. And the branches, make sure they're nice and thin. If I'm going too fast, please don't forget you could pause this video and take a break, come back to it, make sure you're breathing, and you can take it from there. And you don't have to use the same colors like I do. This is your painting, you make it your own. I'm just giving you my idea on how I will paint this, but you don't have to do it the same way. I'm just giving you the idea and you make it your own. You can use whatever colors you like, and any brushes that you like. And if you don't want to use the sponge for the trees, that's fine. Make sure you have an old brush that is nice and dried, and it's gonna give you a lot of texture for your leaves. You can use that one too. So I'm just adding some more branches, and I'm going back to my darkest green. I added the sap green and Payne's gray. So that's gonna give you a nice darker value, beautiful color. As you can see, it's giving you a lot of dimension. And make sure you do not touch the lighter ones. So now for this part of the road, I'm using the exact same color, and I'm just kind of dry brush it on the side. And if you feel that you put too much paint, just take a paper towel and do some touches here and there. Just pick up some of that pigment, and it's gonna give you a lighter color. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the center of my road, giving some texture in there. Everything is coming alive, it's looking beautiful, we're gonna do the same dry brush on the side of the road, adding some more color to the field. Same style, dry brush technique. Make sure your brush is completely flat. And I'm just adding some more color, some more texture, and same on the other side. Also, you could use, I'm doing some little grass with the number 3 brush. I'm just pulling those hairlines in there and making the line for my road. That line is gonna be the darkest part because that's where the shadow is. So make sure you keep that nice and dark. We will be adding some browns and some more color to that side because we want it really dark. For now, we're moving on to the other side. Like I was gonna say, you can also use salt at the beginning if you want. It's gonna give you a really nice texture, and make sure it's completely dry before you remove the salt. Otherwise, it's not gonna look good. Just adding some more of my cadmium yellow here in this area, and then I'm doing the sponge for some more texture. I love texture, and I'm just adding whatever I have left on my palette. I'm just adding it in some areas, not all over, just few places here and there. Same on the other side, just bringing some color. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will really appreciate it. Make sure you give it a like, so it will help my channel, and I would really be so happy if other people are able to see it and maybe they can learn something from it. This one here is my fan brush, and I'm just adding some more texture, some of the grass sticking up and some here in the center. Fan brush is one of the best techniques also to use. It gives you this beautiful grass, different sizes. It doesn't come like they're all the same size. It gives you so much texture. It's just incredible what a fan brush could do for you. Instead of using just one little brush, this one has so many lines that is gonna give you all this beautiful grass standing there. For the road, I added some brown, and I did dry brush technique in there. I'm adding some more water here because I feel that this sky could use a little bit more clouds. So I'm mixing a little bit more of my shadow color. Somehow I ended up with a little bit of the green, but it's okay. It's a sky. And then I'm using my napkin to pick up some of the pigment. And remember, for the clouds, we go in circles. And make sure you blend. You don't want lines. Make sure you blend that stuff. Or you can use your paper towel to pick up some of the extra paint, and also to give some white spaces for the clouds. Just bringing this up, picking up some of the paint, bringing some of the white paper color back to it. And then we're gonna put the horizon line with the green, whatever is left on your palette. And then we're gonna put some more here for the mountains. And because the sky is still wet, it is gonna move a little bit, it's gonna bleed, but it's okay. We want the mountains to be blurry. We don't want them to be perfect. They're far away, so they're not supposed to be perfect. I'm just adding some more paint. I'm adding the cadmium yellow here, just to be able to put my salt to get some more texture, even more texture, yes. So I'm adding that in there. And we're gonna put the exact same thing on the other side. This is my cadmium yellow. And then we are gonna put some more salt. And the salt is gonna repel the paint, so it's gonna give you these nice little dots in some areas. So now we're gonna put the shadow for our trees. This is Payne's Gray and ultramarine blue and brown. Very light on the color. This is just the shadow. And then we're gonna put this exact same color here on this area where the road is supposed to be darker. So pretty much we're done. We're doing the final details. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one. Take care, friends. Bye bye for now.